everyone. It is Mike Duffy checking in from Don't Get Hacked Cybersecurity. And of course, I am YouTubeFamous.com. It's Thursday, April 9th. We are kicking off day 2 of our 8-week YouTube Visibility Engine installation sprint. So, as you know, we've been running YouTube University classes every Saturday for almost a year. And we are now into teaching the master classes, which is an 8-week sprint of how we're teaching you hands-on how to install our YouTube Visibility Engine into your business. I know I got a lot of authors. I'm an author. I got 5 books, including a comic book we're about to launch. I've been playing with a lot of stuff here, and we're going to show you how to take something as simple as your book. This is available on Amazon. The QR code's on your screen. This is my homework for my week for my students. I've asked them to start making content and adding it to their YouTube channel. And in the Visibility Engine Masterclass, which you can find on our website, the ticker is at the bottom of the screen. It says I am YouTubeFamous.com. When you go there, click on the Visibility Engine. It will take you to the description of the Visibility Engine and the links to pay to join the Visibility Engine, where we are giving you one-on-one Zoom classes and teaching you how to make your YouTube channel look nice, as well as giving you methods of making videos and being consistent and showing up every single week on your YouTube channel to make 1 new video per week for YouTube that is also repurposed to all your other social medias. One method of making videos is live streaming that I'm doing right now with Restream. And anyway, for the authors out there, this is how you make content, right? So I've got this book. This is my second book. My first book, Brand Sharks, is already on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel where I've read 1 video for each chapter. So I'm just going to demonstrate that here for you today live. And if you are an author or one of my co-authors, I've got a lot of co-authors. Actually, I'm going to introduce you to my co-authors first, because this is perfect content. So we've got Brandon and Michael. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Of course, we're not going to forget Jose Escobar, who started this book's Connected Leaders Academy, and we're working on Jose to get I am YouTubeFamous.com masterclasses in the Connected Leaders Academy. So we've had the conversation. We'll leave it up to Jose to agree to let me help all the authors in the Connected Leaders Academy make their YouTube channel their #1 sales agent, right? The whole goal of building your YouTube channel is building a channel where you are actively adding content once a week. All I say is make 1 video per week and rebroadcast it everywhere. Just keep building your authority on your YouTube channel. It works amazing if you go pick the same time every single day of every week to go live. So pick a Saturday at 9 a.m. to go live. That's what we do with YouTube University. Pick a Monday at 6 p.m. You know, you're going to have different audiences. And once you figure out what time your audience expects you to go live, you better show up for your audience. Anyway, we've got Brandon, we got Michael. We've also got me, Michael. We have Ivy. We have Emilio, JR, Rick, Chris, Vene, Nick, Dr. Oliver Reed. Haven't talked to you for a while. You should. We've chatted about repurposing book content, so we should have another conversation and do an in-person YouTube University in your city this summer or fall. We've got Natalie. We've got Raul, Lone Wolf. Just saw him in Tampa. We have Reverend Dr. Marianne. We've got Eric. We've got Jeremy. We've got Mark. We have Mr. David Chemetsky. David Chemetsky. We are going to be at the White Room at 7:07 in May. I've just put up the Eventbrite details because we're going to do a couple cool things at the White Room in May. So I will post that to my social medias, and it's already on Eventbrite. I literally just posted it to Eventbrite. So Lots of cool stuff coming up with YouTube University in quarter 2, quarter 3, 2026. We're doing a road tour where we're bringing YouTube University to your city. So confirmed dates are May in New York and June in Boston. We're just working out some other dates right now, but I want co-hosts in the cities that we're going to, because you have a bigger network than I do, and I want to make sure everyone, especially the co-hosts, learn about YouTube and how it can be so impactful to growing your business. Anyway, shout out to David Chemetsky. I'll be talking to him. I talk to him every single week because we're helping him grow his YouTube channel. Kenyatta, Jim Hetherington. I gotta follow up with Jim Hetherington because I think we have a event in Philadelphia May 30th. Federico, Larry, Rich, Dr. Andrea. Haven't talked to Dr. Andrea in a while. And then, of course, Jose Escobar. So that is just some of the members from the Connected Leaders Academy. This is Thrive. I'm not sure. There's 4 of these books that come out per year because Jose is amazing with producing these books. And let's get to it. So actually, I think what I'm going to do is read the cover to you. So this is just a sample of reading your book, streaming it online for people to empower them to learn what's in the book, learn more about you. And there's so many. All these co-authors are in this for a reason. They had a story to tell, and they had business advice to give you. Transformative strategies for entrepreneurs. And of course, I'm in here because I'm in a few of these. I'm just going to read all of it because I'm literally making an audiobook out of this for free, right? And if you want the hard copy, the QR code's on the screen. Go and support the authors by getting a copy of the book and sharing this information with the world. Okay. The Thrive Conference was hosted by the Connected Leaders Academy. The chapters that follow are a written representation of the talks each speaker presented during the conference. So this is a kind of a unique situation because with these books at the Connected Leaders that are published by the Connected Leaders Academy, we're literally we make a talk, we go on Zoom and actually live stream the speech, and then the words from our speech are transcribed and put in this book. So it's a little bit different than traditionally where you would be writing your chapter and submitting it to your publisher. These are all transcriptions taken from a Zoom conference. Connected Leaders Academy is elevating entrepreneurs for success. Learn from global experts. The world of entrepreneurship is vast, but we bring you closer to the wisdom of global experts. From diverse fields and industries, these thought leaders provide valuable insights to drive your growth. Growing archive of video content. Unlock a treasure trove of videos designed to guide you through the challenges of scaling your business. With new content added daily, you're always one step ahead. And then it's just one-on-one coaching with Jose Escobar. Connect with the CSO. Pitch for getting your virtual cup of coffee in with Jose Escobar. If you need an introduction to Jose Escobar and joining an organization like Connected Leaders Academy, just leave a comment on this video and I'll connect you with Jose. Chapter number 1, How to Become a Phenomenal Public Speaker by Brandon Godoris. He's in Stanford. We're planning to bring YouTube University to Stanford, but maybe we'll just bring everybody from Stanford to New York City in May. As I said, the Eventbrite link is up. I will share it after this live. Hey, my name is Brandon Godoris. I'm super excited to be here with you all today. I'm reading from page 1 of chapter 1. When I was 20 years old, I was at a mandatory event in college. They said, you have to go to this event. And I was like, why? Why do we have to go to this event? This is not during school hours. What do we do? There was this guy who came up on stage that day. His name is Lou Miller. He talked about how he wanted to be the best in the world at what he did, so he spent the next decade learning, observing, shadowing, and studying the best people in the world at what he wanted to be best at. I was like, why don't I just do that? I'm interested in a certain thing. Why don't I just write down the top 10 people in the world and then learn, observe, study, and meet them? What ended up happening was I did that. I was 20 at the time, and then 6 years later, I got voted in the top 50 in America. You might be saying, what did you do? Well, I was actually a personal trainer for golfers. Now, when the success started happening, I realized that there's more to life than what I was doing there. So I went back to that philosophy because I realized if you want to be great at whatever it is, health, wealth, relationships, happiness, you probably have to go learn from the greats. So I ended up writing down some of the people who were the best speakers in the world. One guy who came into my life was this guy named Thomas Plummer. I attended his speaker school in 2018, and he did this joke about the random things that happen at an airport. So, for example, at the Orlando airport, this kid is crying the whole plane ride and then throwing goldfish at you. He never called himself a comedian. But when I saw Trevor Noah perform not much longer after that, I noticed that he did the same joke in a big different format. I realized that there was a lot of similarities between comedy and public speaking. So not too long ago, I did my first comedy show because I was inspired by one of the greats, Trevor Noah. You may be saying, okay, well, why are you talking about this? Well, it's because one of the best ways to become a phenomenal public speaker is to learn from the people who are the best in the world. So that's what I did in that case. Because of that, I'm excited to share with you some value today. Some of the concepts I've learned from Tom Plummer, my mentor, and then Trevor Noah and all these different people. The one thing that I realized that they do so well is they tell great stories. Facts tell, stories sell. Many of you have probably heard facts tell, stories sell. Stories or stories? Did I say that right? But what does that actually mean? Well, the truth is everybody has a story, but some people don't understand that there's a story in so many different areas of life where you'd never expect. So when I used to teach a speaker school that I teach now in a 4-week format, one guy would drive an hour up to come for an hour session, and I felt kind of bad. I was like, let's spend some time after. So we would go out for dinner. I remember going out to dinner with him once, and he told me this story that really stuck. He said, when I was first getting into personal development, I used to do these affirmations in front of the mirror. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he said, my wife looked at me like I was crazy when I used to do that. We all look crazy once in a while. What ended up happening, though, was that she started noticing the changes that he was making and started asking him, can you tell me a little bit about this affirmation thing? And then she started doing the affirmations. Not too much longer after that, she said, hey, can you tell me about the business that you joined? And she ended up joining the business. All that to say, I had always thought that I needed to be in a relationship where someone was into personal development. But I realized that if I was a person who could inspire, who could attract somebody who wanted to grow, then I wouldn't have to worry about all that stuff. Another example could be in health and wellness. A perfect example is how I had anxiety growing up. I was always a little bit fearful of getting sick, and when I got into the events game, the anxiety that I had when I was younger kid started growing again. I had seen this guy speak whose name is Gary Brecka. I know Gary. I've met him in person in Dubai. And he had talked about this program he had where you took a Q-tip and swabbed the inside of your cheek, and then they told you your genetic makeup. I was a little bit thrown off. I'm like, how could they take a swab of your cheek and tell you everything that you need to know to have better health and wellness? So what did I do? I ended up doing the swab test after I heard this guy speak 3 times in 1 month. I was so hesitant to do this program, but I heard so many testimonials from Dana White, from Stephen A. Smith, and from a former CEO of Microsoft that I was like, okay, let's give this a try. I was at this conference. He did his pitch. I got the swab test. They go. After you pay the $600, it'll be 7 to 10 weeks before you get your results. So I'm like, man, this is just a scheme, a Ponzi scheme. But I ended up getting the results back last June. They told me everything that I needed to do to feel good. They gave me this supplement to take every day and this other supplement where they said, you're missing this because of your genetic makeup. So I started taking those supplements in about May or June, and I haven't gotten sick since, and it's February 24th. There was one time where I would have a sore throat for 2 days, but it disappeared. I had no congestion after that. I can read. All I've been doing is taking the supplements that they said. So facts tell, stories sell, because now you're probably more interested in whatever the supplement is versus I just told you, hey, take this supplement. So then another example, more of a wealth example. I'm just reading the words as they are in this book. And this is what you can do too with your book. Make content, live stream it, chop it into shorts. This is exactly how you should be building your content engine, your visibility engine through IamYouTubeFamous.com. Our link's at the bottom, IamYouTubeFamous.com. Go there. You'll see the what we offer, and reach out to me if you need more help with making content and showing up every single week to attract your ideal client. So then another example, more of a wealth example. When I was younger, I wanted to write a book, and I was passionate about giving back. I was like, let me get this stuff out of my head. I was 23 years old and I started writing my first book. I got 2 pages in, and then I went to my mentor and said, hey, I'm writing my first book. I'm curious what you think of this. She said, well, I would wait 10 years, get really good at what you do, and then I would write the book. I said, wait 10 years to write a book? Okay, if that's what you think I should do, then I'll do that. So I waited 10 years. No, I didn't. Keep it simple. 5 things. What ended up happening was 2 years later, I went to a conference in Las Vegas. There was 10,000 people there, and I saw this guy came on stage, and he said, listen, I see all these people selling their products and services on stage. I have a $300 million company. I flew my plane to be here. This is a bucket list experience of mine. I'm just here to deliver as much value as I can so that you can apply a lot of the things that I have been able to get to, I'm just here to deliver as much value as I can so that you can apply a lot of the things that I have to be able to get to the position that I am in. This was 6 years ago, and this guy's company is worth over $1 billion now. That day, he's like, people try and overcomplicate things so much. But even when I wasn't wealthy, even when I wasn't having those successes, I was doing this one thing every day to create the momentum to get to where I am today. All I did was say, if I could win today, then I'm one step closer to getting to where I want to be. So he writes down 5 things every day, on top of whatever emotions are going on in life that need to get done. They don't just revolve around one aspect of life like wealth, because if one thing drops, then chances are the other things will drop too. So he revolved these 5 critical tasks around different things like health, wealth, and happiness. Sometimes one of the things would be like, if you haven't gone to the gym in 2 weeks, go to the gym. Not just like work out for 60 minutes, because if you just go to the gym, chances are you're going to get the workout. I saw a guy speak that weekend as well that said he wrote his first book at 25. So I'm like, okay, let me write my first book. I'm 24, turning 25. Let me give this a shot now that I have something to apply this to. So on my critical task every day, I would put work on book. I would put work on book in his journal. Work on book. What ended up happening? A year later, the first book came out. 2 years later, the second book came out. And 3 years later, the third book came out. 4 years later, the fourth book came out. Why was that? It was because I focused on small daily wins instead of the big wins. What ended up happening was the big wins came from the small daily wins. And this is why you should be making video every single day. But I don't want to stress you out. Make video every single week, because you can live stream like this for an hour and then pull shorts out of it. So the long format's being streamed to YouTube. It will stay and live on YouTube. And we're going to show you how to use in YouTube University in the 8-week sprint that you can register for at IamYouTubeFamous.com. I'm going to show you how to take your live and chop it into shorts. And then we're going to repurpose those shorts across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all those automatically using repurpose. Anyway, develop a phenomenal, I'm going to keep reading the book now. Develop a phenomenal keynote. So facts tell, stories sell. I can read. Now, if you want to become a phenomenal public speaker, one of the things that probably is on your mind is, how do I design a keynote presentation? Well, first you have to do one of 3 seconds. First you have about 1 to 3 seconds to capture people's attention. It's like It used to be like 7 seconds. Remember how valuable the Super Bowl commercials used to be back in the day? It was like the biggest thing in the world. Now with social media, there's a little bit of a different outlook on marketing. In my mind, it's closer to 1 second that you have to capture somebody's attention. Now, when you're developing a keynote, as we just said, there's probably going to be various stories you add in there. Every story that you have about 1 to 3 seconds to capture somebody's attention. So how do you do that? Well, you just get started. So often people add so much into a speech that doesn't need to be there. I'm judging a speaking competition this weekend, and the biggest feedback I have is just start by getting right into the story. A perfect example of this is when I was younger, I was kind of the guy who would go out with his friends and hope that my friends would go up and talk to girls because I was too intimidated from their fear of rejection. One day there was this cute girl. She was 10 out of 10 on a bad day. Guys were just walking up to her and then walking away. Walking up to her and walking away. It was almost like a speed dating type of thing is what it looked like. So I was like, okay, well, if everyone's if everybody's given those 2 shots, what's one more? So I went up to her and I started talking. But I'm like, I'm going to learn about this conversation, especially if I'm going to get turned down. So I asked her, I'm curious, what do you look for in a guy? She said, what's funny that you say that. Every guy who comes up to me says the same thing. He's either making me feel like I'm in an interview or he's just trying to sleep with me. Quite frequently, if I'm meeting someone new, I just want to have fun. Like, I want a guy who can make me laugh. So it's safe to say I did not make her laugh hard enough that night. But I went on this journey to try to figure out how to be a funny guy after that. These are the 3 main things that I've learned that you can apply to your everyday conversations to be a little bit funnier and have people enjoy your conversations a bit more. Align your tone with your title. So I set the tone for the speech right there. So now the body consists of about 3 to 5 points that align with your title. One of the things I see with a lot of speeches is I can't tell what the theme of the speech is. If I can't tell what the theme of the speech is, it's much harder to understand the point that you want to get across. So my favorite speech is 3 keys to achieving the impossible. I break that down into 3 points. Voice it out. Get around to action taking. Persist through challenges. Now, when you're finishing off, you have to leave them with something special. One of the things that you can do is make sure that they know you're leaving them with something special. So, I've said all this to say this. Or, now that you've heard me talk about this today, here's what I want to think when you leave today. So, I have 30 seconds right here. And if there was one thing that I could get across to you, it's that you want to be a phenomenal public speaker. Go to your warmest lead like I did when I was 23 years old. I went to my former university and asked them for an opportunity. You'll never know the opportunities that can come your way when you go to the warmest lead and then act on it. I ended up having 4 speeches in one day. So that's an example of how you can make content from authors out there. Authors, I'm talking to you. One easy way to make content for your book is to get on camera and read a chapter, read a page, put the links up. And also when you're on your YouTube channel, make sure your YouTube channel's got all your books listed, all the links to all your books listed, because sometimes your audience might just want a sample of your books. And after listening to you read, the first page or the first chapter, they're going to click on your QR code link and go purchase your book and support you. So I just wanted to put that out there. That was chapter 1 from the Connected Leaders Academy, Thrive, Transformative Strategies for Entrepreneurs. I just read chapter 1 from my friend Brandon Godoris in Stamford, Connecticut, who I met through Connected Leaders Academy. So I've got class to go prep for. We still have room. We've got a bunch of students in the class right now, the 8-week YouTube Visibility Engine installation, 8-week course that goes through April and May. We meet on Mondays and Thursdays, and I'm looking forward to today. It's Thursday. It's our second class, and we're going to review homework instructions that I handed out on Monday. So I will keep you posted on how the homework's gone for our class, for our students. Again, if you want to join, it's not too late. The link is at the bottom of the screen. I'm just waiting for it to show up on both the vertical and horizontal. You'll see it right now. I am YouTubeFamous.com. We have 3 tracks where you can learn from us. There is the Saturday Ask Me Anything class. It's not hands-on. I'm not going to build out your YouTube channel in the Saturday class. I will build out your YouTube channel in the 8-week visibility engine, Zoom courses, or in person on the 2026 tour. All the links are at the I Am YouTube